Well, happy Boo Friday. Let's do a fresh crack review today on the Whiskey Tank. Hi, welcome to the Whiskey Tank. I'm Joe. If this is your first time checking out the channel, thanks for stopping by. If you're a return viewer and you've watched other videos and decided to come back, you're awesome. Yeah, you are. You're awesome. Either way, if you've seen the channel before and you haven't subscribed yet, or your first time, make sure you go ahead and do that really cool thing, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit a milestone and get 1,000 subscribers, and you could really help me hit that goal. Now, that can pay off for you too, because when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a bottle giveaway. I've talked about it in some other videos, but I'm going to give away a bottle of E.H. Taylor small batch. But the first thing we got to do is get those numbers up, and then we can go ahead and do a bottle giveaway, which would be freaking amazing. All right, guys, let's talk about why you're here today, and that's to see the review on this 13th Colony Barrel Symphony. This is a fun bottle. The reason why I say this is a fun bottle, because this is the first one that they have that's a Boo Rye or a bourbon and rye mixed. This one happens to be 87% of their own distillate, their bourbon, right? And then that other 13% is going to be a 95.5 rye, and that's going to be MGP, I would assume. It says Indiana. Part of it's distilled in Indiana. I know that they've got a history of using Indiana rye, and that rye is 95.5 for the mash bill. The bourbon is going to be 70% corn, 21% rye, and 9% malted barley. And that bourbon is going to be a 6-year-old, and that rye is going to be a 7-year-old. So I would not be surprised at all if you're going to see a heavy rye influence on this bottle. But why do we have to take a guess? Let's go ahead and get in this thing and figure it out and see what we've got. All right. Oh, no rip there, but let's get a cork pop. Come on. "13th Colony, you let me down." That was a sad cork pop. All right, well, go ahead and dazzle me, though, with what you got in the bottle. Like I said, I'm super excited for this bottle. Number one, the label looks cool. I really like that label. I mean, that's pretty. That really is a pretty label. This is 116.2 proof, so it kind of hits that sweet spot, right? So you guys may have heard me talk in the past about that, like that 107 to 120 range, anywhere in there. You're usually getting a lot of that flavor packed into the whiskey, but you're not getting that high proof burn like you're getting on some hazmats or, you know, bottles over 140 proof, 130 proof, things in that. So it's a really approachable whiskey most of the time. And so I think that that's what this is going to promise us, but let's not guess. You guys know when I do these fresh cracks, I like to get right in it and not let these things breathe and do all those really cool things that you're supposed to do with whiskey. So let's see what this is on the nose. So this has definitely got a strong herbal influence, I'll tell you that much. I'm getting a lot of that like herbalness come through this. It's almost like it's like a gum, right? So you're getting some of that herbalness, that 95.5 rye coming through, and the other part, if I remember right, what is it? 21. It's 21% rye in their bourbon mash bill too. So you've got that 95.5 rye coming in at 13%, and that 87% of that bourbon's got 21% rye in that mash bill. All that fancy math tells me it's probably got a lot of rye in it, and I'm getting that on the nose too. Now there is a sugary sweetness that's hiding underneath that too, but there is that herbalness that comes through, and it's almost like it's like a gum of some kind. It's like not spearmint, but you know, it's kind of got that it's a like Trident gum, right? So that Trident blue gum, it's got something like that on it. But I mean, it's a decent nose. All right, I didn't talk about it. The legs on this thing too. It's looking like it's got decent legs on it, decent viscosity, nothing too major, but it's got a pretty color on it. It's like the amber color, you know, for the whiskey. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing on the palate. All right, rye, I see you. I see you. It's definitely got, I'm getting a lot of that rye spice on the tongue. It's sweet, but there is a heavy rye influence, and I don't want to sell anybody wrong in this. If you're not a rye drinker, you're probably not going to be leaning towards this. This drinks like a very high rye bourbon. okay? And that's what you would think out of a Boo Rye, but it's almost going a little over that. There's definite sweetness in there. It's got a decent viscosity, but it's not super mouth coating. The finish on it, it's got a decent length for the finish, but there's a lot of, there's some woodiness there, but it's not oak. I would not in any way, shape, or form say that this is overly oak. There's no bitterness whatsoever in this. You've got sweet and you've got rye spice. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's not a lot of age, right? So you're talking 6 years on that bourbon, 7 years on that rye, which I think is kind of a sweet spot for rye, 7 to 10 years. Anything over that, and it's really starting to taste like a damn garden or something, it just doesn't appeal to me. Some people love that, not me so much. This is kind of like in that pocket for the rye age on it, but that bourbon's still a little bit young. But it's definitely got, you can taste the oak on it, but it's not over oaked. So they kind of nailed that. All right, let me get a second sip. All right, this thing played peekaboo for a second with Jack Daniel's flavors. I thought it was getting a little bit of that Jack Daniel's maple on it. It kind of stuck its head around the corner and said, hey, and then it went away. I'm hoping over maybe a little bit of time, once it's opened up a little bit, some of that maple will come out a little bit stronger, because it was there. I just had a little kind of touch of it. And then that rye came back and said, hey girl, what's up? And really kind of took over the party, especially on the tongue. So the experience on the tongue is that tingliness from that rye. It's definitely not overproof. I think that this, in fact, drinks under the proof. I think that this drinks more like about 105 or so. Is what I'm getting off this. So it's not punchy at all, especially for being a fresh crack, but it's definitely rye forward. The sweetness is there too. So I'm hoping that this is one that is really going to be kind of like a good display of what this fresh crack review is supposed to do. It's supposed to kind of show if there's such a thing as like a neck pour, or that initial punchiness that you get on whiskey, and then it kind of mellows a little bit and takes some of the rough edges off as it sits in the bottle and kind of opens up a little bit with time and air. And so I'm going to come back and revisit this one and then compare. I mean, has it developed or mellowed a little bit? Do some of those mapley flavors come out a little bit more than when the bottle was fresh? So bottom line with this, I think this is a good value for the money. I would not pay more than MSRP. In fact, this is borderline something I think would be a better price, right around that $60 to $70 price point. I think that would be almost a little bit more fair, but I'm not hating it for getting what I got it for, right? So that $90 price point, $98 with tax in Maryland. Don't go out and overpay for this. I really don't think it's worth that, at least not what I'm getting off from the fresh crack anyways. I think this is something that if you can get it for MSRP, cool. It's unique enough that it's fun to have in the bar. If you're looking to finish a vertical on 13th Colony, or you're just really a 13th Colony fan, this is a limited edition bottle, and it's their first in the series. So if they release other ones, I mean, there's that too. I don't really get into all that, but hey, I mean, if you do, that's cool. So this might be something you want. And overall, I mean, I think the bottle's kind of cool. The label's kind of cool for 13th Colony. So that's a win too. But listen, just don't overpay for it. If you can get it for MSRP, cool. If not, go ahead and pass. You're not going to hate yourself for it. Trust me. All right, guys, thanks for checking out the review, and let's see how this thing opens up together. Watch for a future video where I go ahead and dip back into this and see if this thing's kind of mellowed out a little bit. And until next time, cheers from the whiskey tank.